वृंदावन धाम की जय।
जय
नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय।
जय
पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय।
जय
जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय।
जय
अटलांटिक सिटी रथ यात्रा की जय।
जय
गंगा माई की जय।
जय
यमुना माई की जय।
जय
तुलसी महारानी की जय।
जय
भक्ति देवी की जय।
जय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय।
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा
All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All
हरे हरे
glories to
बोल
Srila Prabhupada.
हरे
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishki. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, The Appearance of Sukadev Goswami. Text 18. एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देवसङ्घाः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयश्च नेदुः एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देवसङ्घाः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयश्च नेदुः एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देवसङ्घाः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयश्च नेदुः.
एवं ततस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देवसङ्घाः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूने मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयश्च नेदुः
एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देवसङ्घाः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयस्य नेदुः. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा. एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रविष्टे दिवि देवसङ्घाः प्रशस्य भौमौ व्यकिरेण प्रसूनौ मुदा मुहुर्दुन्दुभयश्च नेदुः. हरे कृष्ण.
एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देवसङ्घाः प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मुदा Mudha Muhurdundubhayascha Nedhu.
Anyone else?
एवं च तस्मिन् नरदेवदेवे प्रायोपविष्टे दिवि देवसङ्गा प्रशस्य भूमौ व्यकिरन् प्रसूनैर्मुदा मुहुर्दुभयश्च नेतु.
Anyone else? Okay. Word to word translation. Evam, thus. Cha, and. Tasmin, in that. Naradeva deve, upon the kings. Praya upavishte, being engaged in fasting to death. Divi, in the sky. Deva, demigods. Sangha, all of them. Prashasya, having praised the action. Bhumau, on the earth. Vyakiran, scattered. Prasunai, with flowers. Muda, in pleasure. Muhu, continually. Dundubhayaha, celestial drums. Cha, also. Neduhu, beaten. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Thus the king, Maharaj Parikshit, sat to fast until death. All the demigods of the higher planets praised the king's actions and in pleasure continually scattered flowers over the earth and beat celestial drums. Purport. Even up to the time of Maharaj Parikshit, there were interplanetary communications, and the news of Maharaj Parikshit's fasting unto death to attain salvation reached the higher planets in the sky where the intelligent demigods live. The demigods are more luxurious than human beings, but all of them are obedient to the orders of the Supreme Lord. There is no one in the heavenly planets who is an atheist or non-believer. Thus, any devotee of the Lord on the surface of the earth is always praised by them. And in the case of Maharaj Parikshit, they were greatly delighted and thus gave tokens of honor by scattering flowers over the earth and by beating celestial drums. A demigod takes pleasure in seeing someone go back to Godhead. He is always pleased with the devotee of the Lord, so much so that by his adhidaivik powers, he may help the devotees in all respects. And by their actions, whose actions? The demigod's actions. And by their actions, the Lord is pleased with them. There is an invisible chain of complete cooperation between the Lord, the demigods, and the devotee of the Lord on earth. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thus the king Maharaj Parikshit sat to fast until death. All the demigods of the higher planets praised the king's actions and in pleasure continually scattered flowers over the earth and beat celestial drums. So we saw in the past few verses that Parikshit Maharaj, after being cursed, when he heard about the news that he was cursed to die in 7 days, he left home. He took care of the situation. He made his son Janmejaya, appointed him as the next ruler. He gave up all his possessions, his royal dress. He went and sat on the banks of river Ganges. And then all these sages arrived there from all over the universe, great personalities. And then Parikshit Maharaj submitted before them. What did he say? In 4 verses, Parikshit Maharaj said that, let's see, addressing the sages, he said that, first of all, of course, he humbled himself in front of them that, I'm so insignificant. The rulers are like rejected, refuse, right? The royalty is like refuse for you because you are so exalted. And then we see that he's actually feeling grateful. He's considering himself to be fortunate. He's considering himself to be fortunate to have been cursed to die in 7 days. So somebody may ask, you're going to die on the 7th day and you think this is good fortune? How come? So then he says that I was so attached to my household, to my kingdom, to my opulence, to my position as the emperor. We also heard how his Parikshit Maharaj's enemies, they would, without putting up a fight, they would come and fall down, submit themselves, surrender themselves to Parikshit Maharaj. And they would give so many gifts to him, offering themselves to him. Such was his position. So Parikshit Maharaj is saying, I was so attached. So what is the result of someone who's attached like this? Only repeated birth and death, isn't it? So the Lord is so merciful. In order to pull me out of this attachment, he himself has come in the form of this curse from this Brahmana. So this is actually a benediction. The Lord coming to me in the form of this curse to die in 7 days, this is the Lord's mercy on me. When did Parikshit Maharaj realize this? He realized this when he came in the association of all those saintly persons. So that's what we discussed last Saturday. That Parikshit Maharaj is appreciating the association of sadhus. And also he made a request. I want all of you sages to please stop all other talks. I heard from a lecture of His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj, one commentator says on that verse that some other sages assembled there, they were talking about something. So Parikshit Maharaj says, please don't talk about any other subject matters now. Stop all other talks. Simply talk about Krishna. Talk about Krishna consciousness, about Krishna. I want to hear you speak about Krishna. That's all. I don't want to hear about any other talks. And then he said that even if I have to take birth again, my only prayer is that let me get another chance to love Krishna. Let me get another chance to love Krishna. So, on this point, our acharyas say, getting another chance means what? That means he has it already now. In this life, he already got Krishna Prema. And he's saying, even if I have to take birth again, like what does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? He says, the fourth verse, na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhaktira haituki tvayi. I don't want money, wealth. I don't want followers, good family. I don't want beautiful wife. I don't want fan following. What do you want? Birth after birth. That means I don't even want liberation. Birth after birth means I don't even want liberation. I am willing to take birth again and again. For what? Bhavatad bhaktira ahaituki tvai. Ahaituki bhakti. What is haituki bhakti? Haituki means there is a cause for that bhakti. You want something in return. Anyabhilashita shunyam. That is ahaituki bhakti. I don't want anything else. I just want bhakti. Bhakti means I want to please Krishna. I want to love Krishna. May I get another chance to love Krishna? And what else do I want? How is it possible? This love, from his own experience, he is saying that in the association of other devotees, may I get the association of devotees? So our acharyas also say, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, right? Let me take birth. If I have another life, let me take birth as an insect in the home of a devotee, or as a dog. I forget, there's Haridas Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur both say. Somebody can help me if you know. So they say that let me take birth as an insect. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Let me take birth as an insect in the home of a devotee. Or let me take birth as a dog of a Vaishnava, where I will get the remnants of that Vaishnava. I think that is Haridas Thakur who says about remnants. Let me take birth as a dog, so I'll get the remnants of a Vaishnava. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, let me become an insect, not even a human being. Can you imagine? And they're not just saying it because it sounds nice and poetic. They genuinely desire, this is how much they value the association of Vaishnavas. And what else? Let me have friendship for all living entities, even towards Shringi and Shamika Rishi also. Even they may have cursed me, but let me have friendship, a friendly relationship with all living entities. Why? There, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, when a son is a good son, he's an obedient son of the father, then he will naturally be very friendly to all his brothers because he loves his father. he would not want to hurt his father in any way. So he will be very friendly with all the other siblings because this will please the father. So similarly, a devotee wants friendship with all living entities. He does not consider anyone his enemy. And praying to the sages in this way, now after he had already uh, made his son responsible, he gave up his kingdom and he gave his son the kingdom. Now he decided to fast until death. Where did Parikshit Maharaj sit? He sat on uh, the southern side of the river Ganges, okay, to the south of river Ganges, and he was sitting on a mat made of kusha grass. The roots of the kusha grass were facing south. That means he is facing north. Or was it east? One of the directions. I think the kusha grass roots were facing east, I think, and he's facing north. That's how the scriptures say. He himself is facing north. Yeah, the roots were facing east, he himself is facing north, and he's sitting there. And now, with this determination that he's not going to eat or drink, and the word used there is dhira. Dhira. What does Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिर धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. Dhira is not disturbed, whether it is birth or death, whether it is under any circumstances, he is not disturbed. So Parikshit Maharaj is called a Dhira. He gave up his kingdom, he gave up everything, and he didn't think once about it. He just left it. And also, he gave up eating and drinking with this determination to hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord. And he requested the sages, my dear sages, please tell me only Vishnu Katha. Why Vishnu Katha? Why he didn't say Krishna? Why he said Vishnu? Did you hear that previously? Why he said Vishnu? No, right? Okay. So, Parikshit Maharaj, when he was in the womb of his mother Uttara, Krishna saved him. So Krishna was outside, but he also manifested in the womb of Uttara. So Krishna is, the very word Vishnu means Sarva Vyapi. He's present everywhere. So therefore he's saying, tell me the Katha of Lord Vishnu. That Lord who's present everywhere. And when he first saw, the first person that he saw in his life, even before taking birth in the womb, is Lord Krishna. Can you imagine? And he was so attracted by Krishna that he's constantly examining, looking. Whoever he saw, anyone very attractive, he's trying to see, is it the same person that I saw in the womb? That's why his name is Parikshit, who's always looking for that person that he saw in the womb. So this Parikshit Maharaj is now sitting on the banks of river Ganges with the determination to hear about the glories of the Supreme Lord without thinking even once. There's no thoughts disturbing him anymore. How will the kingdom run after I leave? What will happen to my wife? How will my citizens, manage? Will Kali come back? No worries. He did. So this is also a wonderful quality of a devotee. A devotee, he is in that moment. He acts in that moment. Whatever service is given to us, he gives his full 100% in that. And after that is done, then that is an offering to Krishna. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to enjoy it or worry about it. You have done your service. And then when you're sent to the next situation, then you take care of that situation, living in the moment. This is actually the mode of goodness, staying in the moment. not in the past, not in the future, but living in that particular moment. That is the mode of goodness. And a devotee is in the mode of pure goodness, not just goodness. So Parikshit Maharaj didn't think. Now seeing this type of determination, the demigods, and determination for what? For hearing about the Supreme Lord, the demigods, they all assembled in the sky and they were showering millions of flowers on Parikshit Maharaj. Why? Out of joy. And they are praising Parikshit Maharaj. The word used is prashasya, right? Prashamsa karna, prashasya. They are praising Parikshit Maharaj. Amazing, amazing, so wonderful. Look at his determination. Look at this emperor. And they assembled in the sky and Vyakiran Prasunai. Prasuna means flowers. So they are showering flowers out of joy. Muda. Muda means they are very, very ecstatic, very happy. Out of happiness, they are glorifying Parikshit Maharaj and showering flowers on him. Not only that, they are playing musical instruments. Dundubhya cha neduhu. Neduhu means they are beating dundubi. And cha means this is one example is given. Cha means and all the others that are not mentioned. So many other instruments were played. Playing so many different instruments in happiness, in ecstasy, in joy. And they were showering flowers on Parikshit Maharaj. So, how is Srila Prabhupada commenting on this verse? Srila Prabhupada brings out the point of interplanetary communication. There is communication between what's going on this earth planet and the heavenly planets or in other planets, especially when there is a devotee, an extraordinary personality, specifically a devotee. The demigods are very much, they are up to date about what's going on here. Yudhishthir Maharaj did Rajasuya Yagya. He actually invited the demigods to come and attend the Rajasuya Yagya, and accepting his invitation, they came physically and they attended. All the demigods in the whole universe, up to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and all the other celestial sages, they all came and participated. Narad Muni was there. They all came and participated in Yudhishthir Maharaj's Rajasuya Yagya. Also, when Bhishma Dev was passing away, we saw they all came. All the sages assembled there, knowing that this great personality, this devotee, is going to leave his body in the presence of Lord Krishna. They all came. Similarly, here also, when Parikshit Maharaj, they found out Parikshit Maharaj is going to fast until death, all the sages, they all came and assembled here. This tells us that there is communication between the demigods and the human beings. But of course, the quality of life was so high, even up to the time of Parikshit Maharaj, that there was travel between the earth and the heavenly planets. We saw Arjun went to the heavenly planets, right, to get Divyastras. He traveled, he stayed there for 5 years. Who else? Even before that, we see Durvasa Muni, Ambarish Maharaj's pastime, we see. Durvasa Muni was traveling. He went even outside. What to speak of going to heavenly planets within this universe? He went to Lord Shiva's abode, Lord Brahma's abode. He traveled. And then by the Lord's arrangement, he was able to even go to Vaikuntha planet. There are many instances. Recently, now is the time of Ratha Yatra. Lord Jagannath is in Gundicha now. In order to construct this temple and to invite Lord Jagannath, the whole story of Indradyumna Maharaj, how he came to Neelachala, and how he actually finally became an instrument in Lord Jagannath manifesting there. There also we see, after the temple was built and after the deities were carved, he had to go to Lord Brahma. Narad Muni said, Lord Brahma is going to come and install the deities. Narad Muni said, I'm going to Lord Brahma. And Indradyumna Maharaj said, please take me also with you. So he went with Narad Muni to Lord Brahma's abode. And there he called Lord Brahma to come and install the deities. And Lord Brahma said, do you know, one full Manvantara has passed already since you came here. The time on Brahmaloka is different than the time on earth. So all your family members and everyone else is gone now. But you can go back. You make arrangements for the installation. Once you make the arrangements, I will come. So Indradyumna Maharaj came back and he saw it was completely, there was a different king. But he did the arrangements. Lord Brahma came and he installed Lord Jagannath. Many, there are many instances like this. Also, King Kakudmi, he is the father of Revati. Revati is the consort of Lord Balaram. And his father's name was Raivata or Revata. So his daughter Revati, he's looking for a qualified husband for his daughter. And he looked at so many princes and he thought, who's better than Lord Brahma? He's the one who created everyone else. I'll ask him who is the best groom for my daughter. So he took his daughter and he went to Brahmaji to ask. Meanwhile, there was some program going on, some entertainment going on there. So he waited for some time. He didn't want to disturb for a few moments. And after that, he went to Lord Brahma and he said, I saw so many princes and kings for my daughter. Can you suggest who is most suitable? Brahmaji said, my dear king, already so much time has passed. All the kings that you have seen, they're all passed away. Nobody's there. But right now, Lord Balaram is there on earth and he's of right, like this is the time, like for him to get married. So you can give your daughter to Lord Balaram, like that. So the point is, and also who else? That King Muchukunda, King Muchukunda. The demigods called him to fight on behalf of the demigods, to fight with the enemies of the demigods. He fought and he defeated them. And then the demigods asked him, what do you want? He said, I want to sleep. So there also we see. Dasharath Maharaj also went. Remember, he was fighting. He's called Dasharath because when his Rath was moving, it appeared that there were 10 Raths coming from 10 directions. Wherever the enemy saw, he would see Dasharath Maharaj. So he was fighting on behalf of the demigods. Can you imagine how powerful, how qualified these kings were? The demigods would invite them to fight their enemies because they were not able to fight with their enemies. So this people from the earthly planet going to heavenly planets has been seen in the past. Then why it is not happening now? The desire is still there. Only it is done on a gross level. We try to, make some machines and go there without getting enough pious credits. To go to heavenly planets, you should have enough pious credits. Artificially, we cannot do that. So, again, I was listening to His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. Maharaj says about man going to moon, right? And it's a joke, but it's a fact. Maharaj said that they say that there is no air on the moon. So even when they go there, they have to carry their own air to breathe. They have to take their oxygen. And then they come back with pictures of, they what do you say, right? You go and plant uh, your flag on moon, right? Whichever country's flag, you just go and say, we came from the earth and this is the flag. We put our flag on the moon. And in the picture they show the flag is flying. How is the flag flying if there's no air on the moon? So Maharaj said he actually read it in a book. So these artificial means of trying to go to higher planets, and besides that, scientifically also it is not possible. The location of the moon, the distance of the moon from this earth where we are, and the speed at which this particular machine is flying, at that speed, in that time, it's not possible for anyone to reach the moon. First of all, we don't even have that much lifetime. On the way itself, you would have taken so many births. That much time is needed to go there physically if you're trying to go in the machine. So it's not possible. So, but interplanetary travel is possible. We see that in history. So that was one point. So that Srila Prabhupada is making in the purport. And the other important thing is the demigods are more luxurious than human beings, but all of them are obedient to the orders of the Supreme Lord. What do we see in this world? When anyone becomes opulent, he becomes so puffed up and he thinks, I am God. This is demoniac nature. And therefore, from time to time, when people become puffed up, Krishna takes away their wealth to bring their pride down so that once again they will become humble, they will come back to their senses. And sometimes he uses his devotees also to set an example for others. So we see that in the case of Bali Maharaj. In the case of Bali Maharaj, he became the king of heavens. Vamandev came and took away all his wealth to teach the people. Vamandev actually says this. When Bali Maharaj was arrested, um, Prahlad Maharaj came, and Bali Maharaj's wife, who knows the name of Bali Maharaj's wife?
Vindhyavali.
Yes. So Prahlad Maharaj came and he offered prayers to Vamandev, saying that it's good that you took away Bali. Both is it's your mercy. You're giving him Indra's kingdom is also your blessing. You're taking away is also your blessing. You're very, very merciful. And Prahlad Maharaj says this point that people become puffed up because of material opulence. They forget what is the goal of life. Therefore, you come because you see what is good for them and you take away their opulence. Then his wife Vindhyavali Mataji also comes. And then she also says that what type of a foolish person, would think that this is my property and I'm going to give it in charity. This whole creation, whole universe is yours. You created it for your pastimes, for your enjoyment. And this foolish agnostic thinks that it's my property. And then he wants to give charity and he wants to think, see how great I am. He wants to enjoy that position of being a donor. But her intention of saying this was, please have mercy on this foolish person, on my husband, like that. And then Brahmaji also comes, and Brahmaji is saying, my Lord, he gave everything he had. Whatever he had, he gave. Somebody gives you little patram pushpam phalam toyam, little bit of water, flower, you become so pleased, you give that person, you send him back to Godhead. And here Bali, what to speak of patram pushpam, he gave everything he had, even his own body he's offering you. This is not fair. Please don't cause him, any more pain. When Brahmaji prayed like this, then the Lord said that this point, that because of material opulence, people become puffed up. Then I take away their wealth to bring them to reality. So it is my mercy when I take away wealth from somebody, it is my mercy on that person. But the next point the Lord says, if in spite of having wealth and opulence, if somebody is not puffed up, if he's not proud, he has good high birth, he has wealth, he has beauty, he has education, and in spite of all this, he's very, very humble. That means what? That means he has my mercy. That is the sign of a person's having the Lord's mercy. In spite of having everything, still he remains very humble. He's not puffed up. So the demigods, they're very opulent, but they don't forget their position as servants of the Lord. Prabhupada is saying that you don't find any atheists or non-believers in the heavenly planet. Like on this earth, some are devotees, some are atheists. But in the heavens, you don't find any atheists who don't believe in the Lord. Sometimes they may become a little puffed up of their position, which is natural, but then immediately the Lord comes and little bit of, correction, and again they come back to their senses. But they're not atheists. Nobody is outright atheist. This is because of this, when they see any devotees on this earth, they actually support them. They're very happy, very pleased. When devotees are rendering some devotional service, they want to help them. They want to help them. So many, you can, even in current today's time also, you will see in devotees' lives so many times. One example, His Holiness Indradumna Maharaj, he, I don't know if it is still happening, this was several years ago, but he has this Woodstock festival, right, in Poland, summer festival. And it's a very big program, right? It takes a lot of organization. And that day, it was so cloudy, like all the, what do you say, weather forecast said it was going to pour heavily that day. The whole festival would have been spoiled. And they were cooking for I don't know how many people. It's a very big, grand scale. Prashadam and, entertainment, kirtan, so many things. And all the devotees were concerned. And they went to Maharaj, what to do? Maharaj said, just continue with whatever preparations you're doing. Faith in Krishna, right? Just do. And it was all, it was actually raining. Already it was raining. And he said, just keep going on. And then, sure enough, in an hour or so, it became a very sunny day. And then they had a very nice festival. That means the demigods also, they are looking for an opportunity to serve the Lord by assisting the devotees. I can tell you, in Mayapur, once, this happens many times, but once I'll give you one incident. This was several years ago. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he comes for his Vyas Puja. So every year when he comes, he's usually coming from somewhere outside. And they have this whole chariot arranged for him, right? And in front of Namahatta Bhavan. And the program is in the evening, like an Adivas. The next day is his Vyas Puja, so the day before. And so many devotees were there, and they did Adivas and they did Aarti and everything outside, right there on the road. He just arrived in his car. He got off the car, they put him on his wheelchair, they put him on the chariot, and then they were doing this festival. All that time, nothing happened. And it went on for hours. And then everybody dispersed. All of a sudden, there's clouds, thunder, and then we were worried. My children were really small, like babies. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we had to walk back home. And I was thinking, what's going to happen if it rains? And the whole program was over. Maharaj left. And quickly, somehow, we were walking back and we got a rickshaw, I think. Somehow we managed. And it started, thunder, lightning started already, but it didn't start pouring yet. As soon as we went inside the house, it rained like anything. It rained like anything, like the windows and everything. It was like all lights were gone, and it rained that night like anything. So, and you see, every time Rath Yatra, the other day in Puri Rath Yatra, you saw The next day it will rain, right? So we see it's very, very obvious how the demigods are working together with the Lord. So the last line of the purport is there is an invisible chain of complete cooperation between the Lord, the demigods, and the devotee of the Lord. Right? So the only thing is the devotee has this confidence. The devotee has full confidence in this, and he goes ahead, knowing that the demigods are the Lord's servants, and they cannot put any obstacles on the path of devotional service. He goes full speed. That's what I'm observing. So the Srila Prabhupada is saying, a demigod takes pleasure in seeing someone go back to Godhead. So here Parikshit Maharaj is sitting, and all the sages also, they said, we won't leave until you leave your body, not just until you leave your body. Until we see that you go back home, back to Godhead, we are going to sit here, we're going to stay here. All the sages said this to Parikshit Maharaj. So similarly, the demigods also. So they also came there to see how this great devotee is going to perfect his life. They're very pleased with the devotee of the Lord. And they try to help the devotee in all respects. I will stop there. Thank you all for tolerating me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe you can share some highlights, what you understood from today's discussion.
Yeah, Muktidatri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. It was so nice, Mataji. Today's Ratha Jatra also, the climate is really not good, right?
Yeah.
But, it will be okay, I think. We are going. You are going, Mataji?
Yes, we are going.
Yeah. And I wanted to share like what to speak about the big festivals like Ratha Yatra and other festivals. Sometime I was thinking when my kids are going to school, right? Sometimes we see the snow also fell right after the school is over.
Yes.
Like when the kids are all home and all, like Friday evening, they will start snowing. So I was always thinking maybe this is good because they have next 2 days off. Everything will be over.
Yeah.
So it is really nice,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mataji.
Thank you for sharing that. Even in Chaitanya Mataji, Vindhyavali Mataji, Chappan.
Usually they say if it rains, that is a good omen.
Right.
For anything, for any wedding or anywhere,
Yeah.
that's a good omen, they say.
Yeah.
And my daughter's engagement, it was snow. It's almost more than knee-deep, half like that. I didn't know that I was cooking and I invited a lot of people in Denver.
Uh-huh.
And then they all thought, how this is the first arranged marriage.
Wow.
All the youth, I called everybody, and this is an arranged marriage. They want to see how without dating or without doing, they are marrying. And there are almost 20 people, 20 teenagers, they came to see that. And
Wow.
then my friend called me, did you see out of the window what is happening? It was snowing, big flakes are coming. And I was cooking the engagement. We had to go somewhere to the clubhouse and perform. I thought nobody will come. Everybody in Denver, they came in the snow, and some of their cars, they were from distance, they were coming. They were skidded cars, and they went back and they got another car and they came.
Wow.
And all the people, everybody came in Denver. Almost, I think, 300 people they came. So that was a real surprise for me. And I thought nobody will come. I'm cooking big things. And then Krishna temple, they helped me for some other dishes to bring. And everybody came. That was very good, that thing. And, but after coming from there, in the car, we made bisi bedava, some things, there's milk and everything. It was in the car. We could bring it inside. 2-3 days car was buried under the snow. And everything was intact. Milk, including milk, nothing spoiled. And after 2 days, everything was gone. We bought everything inside. So that was the real thing for their engagement.
Right.
So I felt that, whatever happened, but everybody came and blessed her. That's all we wanted. So usually they say if it rains, that's a good omen.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Just going to say that I think 2 or 3 years ago, Atlantic City Rath Yatra, there was soaking rain. But, just like you said, the demigods will move the clouds away to facilitate. Sometimes they will pour rain also.
Yes.
But the devotees, there was no stopping. And, people like me who wear glasses, we cannot even see where we are going with the glasses. But the kirtan, the mridanga, nothing stopped. And Atlantic City Rath Yatra in the rain was also not as bad. Many years ago, my second son was probably a year old or so, Tobacco by Liberty State Park. I mean, I think it was Tobacco Rath Yatra, but it was happening in Liberty State Park. I mean, unbelievable thunder, and and nothing stopped. Jagannath's Rath was pulled as if the sun was there. My son accompanied Jagannath with his loud crying the whole entire time. He was scared. But everything was music. I know maybe that was the dundubi that was there for Jagannath. But I think devotees, like you were saying, the point about this verse is that they came to shower flowers on Parikshit because he's a devotee. Not that we are of that quality or anything, not at all.
Right.
But the kirtan continues. So today, all of you who are going, enjoy the Rath Yatra. I enjoy getting soaked in the rain in the summer. By purpose, will you ever go out and get wet? No, we will never do it by purpose, right? But today, if it should rain, none of you will go hiding. You will get soaked and you will enjoy. And it's just whatever happens, enjoy the Rath Yatra and pray for those of us who won't be there.
Yeah, I'm missing.
Tell Jagannath that we're all there in spirit. But Mataji, I did have one question.
Yes.
At the very beginning of class, you were saying that being in the moment is actually Prananath Prabhu raised his hand, but quickly I'll just say you have to being mode of goodness is being in the moment. Can you just elaborate that when you talk about Parikshit Maharaj, we understand, we accept, we agree, all is good. Me, today, when I do my service, in most of the time my service is, say, in the kitchen. How should I practice that? What do you mean when you say be in the moment, offer it to Krishna and let it be?
That means whatever you be present there 100%. That's what it means. Not that I'm doing this service here, but my heart is somewhere else. I'm thinking about things that went bad in the past or things that may not happen properly in the future. So my attention is divided here, there, and then I'm also doing some service. No, whatever service I'm doing at that moment, give yourself 100% to that. And while doing that, don't worry. So that includes, right? If you're not worrying about the future, you're not worrying about the result. You are giving your 100%. Sometimes even it may be obvious that the result may not be bad. Still, you give your 100% with faith in Krishna. I mean, just like when we give classes, you have no idea what the outcome is going to be, but you have to depend on Krishna. He's going to give some words, but while you're there, you try to give your 100%. Whatever you have, you just give it there. And sometimes it's good, bad, that's up to him, right? And then after it's over, then don't just sit and, now do the next service, you see, like that. So same thing for cooking, same thing for dressing, same thing for, I heard once His Grace Mahatma Prabhu giving one example. Prabhupada was visiting, I think, their warehouse in Los Angeles, where they have all those books. And so they were actually taking Prabhupada to each department and showing him. And Prabhupada appreciated everyone, meaning that the gist of that story was, or that pastime was, that whatever you're doing at that time, you give your full 100. Don't think, oh, this is not so important. That's an important service. Whatever, like if your service is polishing one cup, you do that thoroughly. Do that service. You give your full attention to that at that time. That's what it means. Being in the moment means giving full attention. All of us have this experience with chanting japa. So when I'm chanting japa, just stay there and just chant the holy names. But what happens usually? Everything else happens at that time only. Right? Oh, this message and that milk on the stove and this and that and Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So not like that, right? Full attention. Actually, I feel like a hypocrite talking because I should be practicing it and then speaking, but I'm just sharing it. This is where we are supposed to be. So, giving, at least endeavoring for that. I'm hopeful because I heard His Holiness Jayapatak Maharaj once say in the class that if you don't have it, then you pray, you desire to have it. And if you don't even have the desire, then you pray for the desire to have it. And he went on like this, I think 21 times, like literally saying it, for the desire, for the desire, for the desire to have it. So even if I'm not there, desiring to have it is also good. And if I don't have the desire, desire to have it is also good, like that.
Yes.
So was that okay?
Like I wanted to go to Radha Yatra, Atlantic City, but I couldn't go.
But you cooked Rajbhog for Krishna, see?
I did. See, that's what I thought yesterday. So this is why I came. I don't know. I unexpected yesterday morning. I went there. That was good. So I don't know Krishna's things. We don't know what he plans.
We'll give Ramanath Prabhu a chance. He raised his hand and he's still here. So please, Prabhu, you have the last.
Sorry.
No problem. First of all, I apologize for raising my hand in the middle. I should have waited to raise my hand. I did put it out. I did have one reflection and one question. Sorry, I'm in the outskirts of the city. I don't know if the network is.
We can hear you,
audible, first of all?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Thank you so much for the nice class, Mataji. I really like the point that you said about how Parikshit Maharaj had love for Krishna in this life only. But anyways, if I have life again, let me develop
We completely lost him. He was. Oh, no. I think he knew he was in a not so good zone. We'll definitely reach out to him and ask him, because it's a reflection. It's always good to hear reflections that have come out of the class.
Yes.
We'll continue on. Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you everybody for joining in today and for your reflections, and everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day in spirit or in actual at the Rath Yatra. And we'll meet everybody tomorrow morning again at 7:50.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. I want to fly there and then do the Rath Yatra and come back.
Yeah.
But I can do with my mind. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.